Hello again, everybody. Dave Brown and Corey Macklin here at ringside. And we are ready to go with another day of USWA Championship Wrestling. Big one coming up today.
Big one coming up. Brian Christopher right here today in action. We'll be taking a look at Brian Christopher. Also here today, Doug Gilbert taking on the Colorado Kid. That's to Vince McMahon. Well, he's finding out who that is.
Yeah, that's true. Not too thrilled to see anybody coming in here that's sent in by Vince McMahon with some of the comments he's had over recent weeks. Also, big news about the unified title.
Exactly.
And a big battle royal coming up right here today, the winner day of action for you. We'll be back to get going right after this. Got a match coming up here in just a moment. Brian Christopher is going to be stepping into the ring. But before we get that match underway, you know the music. You know who's going to be headed this way. Want to talk to him because something very big. Look at that. He holds over his head the unified belt. The champion once again. Still the king of wrestling, Jerry Lawler, headed this way. Greeting the crowd along the way. Here he is, the king. As I pointed out, you've got the unified belt again, and I know this happened in what some folks might consider an unlikely place. Matches just a few days ago in Senatobia, Mississippi.
Senatobia, Mississippi, exactly right. And I promised everybody down there that I would sing their praises because, you know, a lot of times you take for granted the crowd and the emotion and the support that you get from the fans. But I can tell you that this past week down in Senatobia, Mississippi, went down there, had a title match with Eddie Gilbert booked down there. Also, you know, Brian and I were wrestling in another match. We wrestled twice at night, also against the Moondogs. And it could have easily been just another night. And I'm sure that Eddie Gilbert went in there thinking it was just going to be another night, that he was going to breeze into the Northwest Community College there in Senatobia and breeze right out with his title. Well, if we could, I think somebody fortunately had a little home VCR camera there, and let's just take a look and maybe we can talk about this as it happened, because I know we didn't have the good fortune of having either you or Corey there to do the commentary. But I was able to get Doug Gilbert in a situation with the support of the fans there. Like I said, you know, it's a community college down there, and the crowd was just tremendous. A bunch of young guys on the side that's closest to the camera here. They were just, I got to give them a lot of credit because all night long they razzed Eddie Gilbert. They harassed him, and I give them a lot of credit because I think that they had his mind somewhere else rather than being completely on the match. He did use a chain throughout the match, and as you can see here, a pile driver or two was delivered. And I think at that point, Eddie Gilbert felt, you know, that he pretty much had the match in hand. But you just got to watch these guys out here. See these guys at ringside were just tremendous.
Well, a little extra adrenaline there when you've got folks that close to the ring yelling and cheering for you all along. So I'm sure, yeah, it makes a huge difference. Oh, look at this.
Well, you know, they say turnabout's fair play, and I've made a. They're gonna out pile drive the king. And here was where it was getting a little tricky here because I was just going up to that second rope to try to pull my little famous maneuver there, but at the same time he was going for a chain, and I just fortunately caught him coming off there. Watch the reaction of these guys at ringside. It was great. Doug Gilbert, as you can see, got there just a second or two too late, and all of a sudden in Senatobia, Mississippi, the Unified World Heavyweight Championship changed hands. Eddie Gilbert, Doug Gilbert was in shock. The fans were tickled to death, and so was I. Now I was getting a little concerned right here because now Doug Gilbert's trying to pull one of these moves to get the referee maybe to reverse the decision by claiming that I had used the chain on Eddie Gilbert. And I got to admit, right at this point, I'm thinking, well, here we go. You know, he's going to take the belt back. But fortunately, the fans, once again, the fans over there were saying, hey, they told him where the chain was. He went right to Eddie Gilbert's tights, and wow, found the chain and reinforced the decision. So the belt is back around my waist where I feel like it rightfully belongs.
Well, the fans will agree with you there. The fans in Senatobia and all across the USWA, and there it is, the belt held high where it should be.
Thank you very much. You know, I want to once again thank everybody for the support down in Senatobia. I want to thank everybody here and for the support. Hopefully we can keep this belt where it belongs for a long, long time. But, you know, there's no rest for the weary. Right here today on the TV show, Eddie Marlin has put together a battle royal, and all of the top wrestlers in the USWA and even some guys from the World Wrestling Federation are going to be in here. And I'm going to have to face the winner of that battle royal and put this title right on the line.
I'd like you to consider something as the show goes on. It's a while before we get to the battle royal, but we'd love to have you out here and comment on it, since you are going to be the opponent for whoever wins it if you would like to later on today. So think that over, and maybe we'll see you out here later.
You mean me do color commentary on a match?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never done anything like that. Okay, I'll be glad. I'll come back. Thank you very much, everybody.
We'll see you a little bit later. There he goes, unified world champion, the King, Jerry Lawler. And headed to the ring right now, referee Kevin Christian. We're just about set to get this next match, actually our first match of the day, one fall 10-minute time limit match coming up. As headed to the ring right now is Eddie Gibbons, and the music will bring on his opponent. Christopher heads to the ring for a single match against Eddie Gibbons, one fall 10-minute time limit. And USWA Wrestling will really be underway as far as wrestling goes right here today. Brian Christopher steps through the ropes. Referee is telling him, okay, get the warm-up jacket off, get the championship belt handed out of there, and we're going to be going. Okay, Brian Christopher pointing out the remains of a burn from a previous match, and said, hey, referee, warn him not to be messing with that. That's off limits. We're set to go.
We are the USWA Heavyweight Champion, Brian Christopher, taking on Eddie Gibbons here today on USWA Championship Wrestling. Fans, what a day we've got today. Look forward to a battle royal right here today on USWA Wrestling. Can't wait for that one, Dave.
Brian, of course, the USWA Heavyweight Champion, as you pointed out. This is a non-title match here today. The belt is not at stake. But if Eddie Gibbons can win, boy, all of a sudden, he's right there on the contenders list.
His stock goes up, and nice feather in the hat for Gibbons if he can get a win over Brian Christopher. But I'm sure that Christopher certainly does not want that to happen, and will take care of Mr. Gibbons here today. Pulling his hair there. Backs him up against the ropes. Brian whips him in. Gibbons leaps over, comes back under. Christopher leaps over him again, sets him up, and hip tosses him down. Nice move from the USWA Heavyweight Champion. Christopher set with Eddie Gibbons. Tangles up now in the middle of the ring. Gibbons backed into the turnbuckle there. Christopher, went to give him a clean break and nailed Gibbons right in the midsection there. Whips him to the other side hard. Goes Eddie Gibbons. He comes out of there and catches a big kick from Brian Christopher. Christopher laid him out with that one, boy. There is the USWA Heavyweight Champion climbing the top rope now. Up on the top rope, Gibbons is out. Stops the leg down on it. Covers 1, 2, 3.
Brian Christopher with a big victory over Eddie Gibbons. He did not take him lightly. He simply took control. He wins the match. He leads. The USWA Heavyweight Champion with a win in our opening match here today. That's not all. We got Doug Gilbert coming up, going against the Colorado Kid, as you mentioned at the beginning of the program. We'll be back with that action. Stay with us. Well, we got Doug Gilbert coming up in action against the Colorado Kid here in just a moment in the ring. First, though, Doug Gilbert has asked for the opportunity to have a comment or two before the match. We grant that. We'd like to get both sides of the story here. Here is Doug, and with his version of the situation, I'm sure.
You know, Dave Brown, I hear Jerry Lawler coming out here this morning saying he wants to thank all the fans for him winning that big World Unified title. Well, let me tell you the truth what happened, Dave Brown. What happened is my brother's got a real bad injury. His hip's hurt real bad. And all the officials around here told him, Eddie Gilbert, you have to wrestle. You have to wrestle or we will take that World Unified belt from you. So my brother went out there, and like always, you know, you got old Eddie Marlin, 130-year-old senile man, that he's got all the officials in the palm of his hand. Then you got old Frank Morrell. You know, I don't even know if he can count to 3 or not. But anyway, you got him, and he quick counted Eddie, and that's all it was, Dave Brown, and he was hurt. But let's get on with business. You know Brian Christopher, Dave Brown. You know Brian Christopher real tough, right? Well, he had to go out on the line, and he had to call in a big hit man. Well, let me tell you one thing, Brian Christopher. You went and got Rick Steiner. You said the Frankensteiner, the Steiner liner. You're going to break my neck. You're going to break Tommy Rich's neck. Well, Dave Brown, let's show this little bit of this tape right here and show these people who got their neck broken.
Well, let's take a look. Let's watch this carefully first. Yeah, watch Brian Christopher. Yeah, watch Brian Christopher and Rick Steiner.
Watch Tommy Rich beat the mess out of Rick Steiner right here. You watch this. See the referee. Look, that's our officials laying down on the mat, Dave Brown.
Not laying down on the mat. Who knocked him down on the mat?
Nobody knocked him down. He didn't have enough sleep the night before, and he just went out. Now look at him grabbing my man, Tommy Rich.
Well, yeah, of course he is. He's trying to pull him back from Steiner, and look at what Tommy Rich does.
See, all he was trying to do was help him up. See, he's helping him up right now.
By the hair, he's helping him up.
Oh, Dave Brown,
Watch this. This is absolutely disgusting. Tommy Rich with the referee, Brian Christopher. Yeah, he was going to pile drive it.
See, Tommy was just helping him to his feet.
He was going to pile drive it. That's what he was going to do, and Rick Steiner and Brian Christopher stopped it.
You are just looking at everything all wrong. Look, Brian Christopher, I think the match is over right here, right or wrong. Yes, the match is over. Look at the referee. He's telling them to stop. He's telling them to stop, and they won't listen to him. So what is that? Our officials. They won't listen to our officials. So what does that make them? That's why we have to take business into our hands, and that's why things happen like you're fixing to see right here in a minute, Dave Brown.
Well, there are things that are illegal during a match, and the pile driver is one of them. And a couple of times the pile driver came into play on this night. There's Tommy Rich.
Yeah, I think you see his head right there. That's from Brian Christopher's chain and those chairs they was hitting us with. All they did was cheat it all night long, Dave Brown. You know that.
Keep in mind, fans, you have not seen the entire match, and you have not seen what Doug Gilbert and Tommy Rich did a little bit earlier.
Now, this is just giving the official his due right here.
You never put your hands on an official. That is a rule, and there is a pile driver on the referee, and that's an automatic fine, too.
I bet that shortened him up about 2 inches, don't you bet, Dave Brown?
Notice you're awful happy about it.
You know, Tommy...
And there's no way you can deny it. We've got it right here on videotape. Everyone has just seen it.
Dave Brown, I'm not trying to deny it. What I'm telling you is when things like this keep on happening, we're going to take the order into our hands. Business is going to be taking place. If it has to be Jerry Lawler, Brian Christopher, Eddie Marlin, Randy Held.
Let me just tell you that a match has been signed. It's a pile driver match. USWA won't even sanction it because they're illegal, but it's a pile driver match, and you are going to be involved. Tommy Rich is going to be involved. You guys just may see more pile drivers than you bargained for.
Dave Brown, what you just saw, that should tell Jerry Lawler and Brian Christopher they don't want any of Dangerous Doug and they don't want any of Wildfire Tommy Rich. So I fix to get in here and beat this boy like a dog. And then
Well, let's see. Let's see. Young man up here who is wearing the colors of the University of Colorado in Boulder, the Colorado Kid. And we are just about set to go with the match between the Colorado Kid and Dangerous Doug Gilbert. Referee called for the bell, and here's Corey Macklin.
Thank you, Dave Brown. As you said, the Colorado Kid, wearing the Colorado colors from Boulder, Colorado, now resides, makes his home in Nashville, Tennessee. Backs up Doug Gilbert, and let me tell you, this is not going to be an easy bout that Doug Gilbert thinks he's got here. Colorado Kid, we heard a lot of good things about him, and we're finally going to look at him here today in the USWA.
Going against one of the toughest, Doug Gilbert, and as Doug has almost admitted out here a minute ago. He'll do just about anything to win a match, be it a pile driver, a chain, tripping somebody up, whatever it might be. Doug Gilbert, you got to watch him.
Colorado Kid is the opponent today, but Doug Gilbert, he whips him into the turnbuckle. Whoa, nobody home. Colorado Kid comes out of there and takes Doug Gilbert down.
Nice, smart move by Colorado Kid. He let Doug Gilbert just run himself into the turnbuckle, bounce out of there.
Yeah, Colorado Kid just waited on him, and as soon as he came bouncing out of there, he took Gilbert down. Hey, it's Doug Gilbert with a handful of hair. Backs the Colorado Kid up and punches him with a big right hand. And bragging about it is dangerous Doug Gilbert. Slams the Colorado Kid right into the top turnbuckle.
Doug Gilbert, and hey, yeah, he looks real tough now after he's been hit by a fist about 3 or 4 times. Wow, he really nailed him coming off those ropes.
Yeah, he caught him that time.
Doug Gilbert gloating over the situation here.
Whips the Colorado Kid in. Look at this. That's the flip. 1, 2, and he almost had it. Close call for Doug Gilbert. He's better pay attention to this Colorado Kid instead of shouting over here toward the desk.
Yep. Better take care of business at hand. Boy, he just hit him again with a real hard one. He really doubled up that fist and let him have it.
Boy, you could hear that lick from Doug Gilbert that time. Backs the Colorado Kid in, whips him in. Big boot from the Colorado Kid. Oh, a ball blitz. Doug grabs it.
Look at the feet on the rope.
Got him with the foot on the rope. Dangerous Doug Gilbert gets the win. And by golly, you can see it right there on the screen.
Referee didn't see it. Foot on the ropes is how you beat it.
What a
That's
win.
just a slot wrestling lesson, Dave Brown.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do this week, I'm going to put about 5 pile drivers on Jerry Lawler and Brian Christopher, and you will never see that again.
You're not the only one that can do a pile driver, too. You better watch yourself with a pile driver match coming up. We'll be back here in a moment. And the fine folks at Mega Market have a special giveaway right here. I have a certificate in my hand, and this is for $25 worth of groceries at Mega Market. And we're going to open up the telephone lines. Caller number 7. If you are the 7th caller at 901-726-0551, then you win the Mega Market gift certificate for $25 worth of groceries. Again, this is part of the continuing participation with the fine folks at Mega Market.
Good people.
USWA Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
Speaking of USWA Championship Wrestling, how about a bargain? How about $3 for general admission again this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, love to have you at the Mid-South Coliseum. 7:30 is when it all begins. There are 10 big matches on the card, including the opening match of the night. Reggie B. Fine going against the Missouri Tiger, Jeff Gaylord. The Spellbinder will be in to go against Leon Downs in a single match. Skull Von Crush will be taking on young Todd Morton. And Todd Morton, quite a wrestler. Maybe he can put Skull Von Crush down to the mat. Have those shoulders counted 1, 2, 3. The 6-man elimination tag match coming up. $2,500 to the winner. In this one, Skull Von Crush, Leon Downs, and Reggie B. Fine on one side of the ring. On the other, it'll be Jeff Gaylord, the Spellbinder, and Todd Morton. 6-man elimination match. The winner takes home $2,500. Ladies match, Susan Sapphire will be going against Dirty White Girl Kimberly.
Dirty White Girl back in the USWA. Look forward to seeing her back in action down there.
She'll be there Monday night in the single match, and then following that, you got the Moondog match. Anything goes in a Moondog match. It'll be the Moondogs going against Cowboy Don Bass and Billy Joe Travis. I guess this not only means guitars and whatever else.
Well, Cowboy Don Bass and Travis stood up to the Moondogs all the way last Monday night.
And the Moondogs, of course, are going to be able to bring boards and garbage cans and street signs and anything they want to bring, too. Anything goes. The match will continue until one man is left standing, and that will be the winner of the Moondog match. Smoky Mountain title match coming up. Doug Gilbert challenging for the title, which is held by Tony Anthony, the Dirty White Boy. And as you can see, Dirty White Girl Kimberly will be in his corner. Tony Anthony, the holder of the Smoky Mountain title. He's had quite a run as the title holder there. Doug Gilbert will be attempting to take it away from him Monday night at the Mid-South Coliseum. USWA heavyweight title will be on the line. Brian Christopher defends it against Stephen Dunn. Stephen Dunn from the WWF, sent in here by Vince McMahon. We'll have more to say about that coming up a little bit later on. Then, you got the Unified World title match. The King, Jerry Lawler, will be going against someone we don't know who it is yet, because as we told you earlier, we're going to have a battle royal right here on TV a little bit later on.
Exactly right.
Whoever wins the battle royal Monday night will step in and will have a shot at becoming the unified champion, as they'll be challenging the champion, Jerry the King Lawler. But that is not all. Boy, all those title matches, big matches.
10 big matches, man.
Yeah. And this is the 10th one right here, but it is not sanctioned by the USWA Sanctioning Committee. They said the match can occur. It's almost like a lights-out match. They said it can occur, but we will not sanction it. It's Brian Christopher and Jerry Lawler against Tommy Rich and Doug Gilbert, and this will continue until both members of one team are hit with pile drivers. And then when that happens, the other team, the team that does the pile driving, will be the winners of the match. I know Tommy Rich and Doug Gilbert got wild with pile drivers last week around here. Doug Gilbert's been out bragging about, oh, we're pile drivers and this and that. Boy, I tell you, someone that's used a pile driver a lot in his career, Jerry Lawler and Brian Christopher, who's proven that he can hang in there with the best of them. They'll be looking to put the pile driver on Tommy Rich and Eddie Gilbert in this non-sanctioned main event match Monday night at the Mid-South Coliseum.
10 big matches and $3 general admission again.
You're exactly right. I see the King and Brian Christopher headed this way. Let me quickly tell you that Jeannie Grant is our Mega Market winner. She wins the Mega Market gift certificate for $25 worth of groceries. Right now, Brian Christopher and Jerry the King Lawler with the pile driver match coming up.
You know, they said this match is not sanctioned. I guess that means that Eddie Marlin and all of the officials of the USWA don't want to be responsible. Now, do you understand what that means? Doug Gilbert, I almost said Eddie, but Doug Gilbert and Tommy Rich, they don't want to be responsible for what they think is going to happen to you jerks, for what they expect Brian Christopher and me to do to you this coming Monday night. Because what they want to see, what they're hoping for, is exactly what you, Doug Gilbert, stood out here and said that you're going to do to us. That is not going to happen. What they want to see and what they're hoping for is for me and Brian Christopher to take your stinking head, stick it between our legs, and then slam them right into that mat until you're sticking straight up and down like a telephone pole. Now, you want to talk about pile drivers. You're looking at a man who has been using a pile driver on people for a lot of years. You want to check out a man by the name of Andy Kaufman, you'll find out right now that after I pile drive him, he's been pushing up daisies for about 10 years, if you know what I mean. Now, Doug Gilbert, you and Tommy Rich, you better get your little pea brains together, and you better sit down and come up with some kind of strategy. Because you're going in a ring with Brian Christopher and the King, and what I can assure you is going to be the most dangerous match that you have either one ever been in your entire careers. Because if I can, I'm not going to just give you one pile driver. I'm not going to stop at two. I'm going to keep on until the fans. You want to knock the fans? I'm going to keep on until the fans ask us to stop. You understand what I'm saying? Until the fans at the Mid-South Coliseum ask us to stop. Now, are you going to ask us to stop? Can you get a shot of them over there? Are you people going to ask us to stop pile driving? Now, Doug, you and Tommy can talk and say all you want to about our wrestling fans here in Memphis, Tennessee, but what you've done now is you made them mad, and you made us mad, and you are going to suffer the consequences Monday night. You talk about somebody being mad. You're looking at the man who's mad. I've had this burn I've had to live for a solid week, and it's healing up just fine, but it's going to live forever in my mind. And this week, Doug Gilbert, Tommy Rich. I get to live out. I get to give you all the anger that is built up inside of me. And nobody can stop us. When we put your head between our legs, there's going to be no referee pulling us off. We ain't got to look over our shoulder. We're going to pile drive you, pile drive you, pile drive you.
Monday night, it's coming up at the Mid-South Coliseum. It's the pile driver match, and the King pointed out exactly right. USWA says we don't want to be responsible. It's not a sanctioned match, but it will occur. We'll be right back. From the WWF and sent in by Vince McMahon. None other than Stephen Dunn is headed this way. Got him scheduled in a match against young Tony Williams. Tony, of course, fine wrestler and has always given a good account of himself when he stepped into the wrestling ring, especially lately. He's been really looking good. Maybe Stephen Dunn didn't make it, which would be just fine. We can try. Oh, well, no, here he comes right here. Thinking maybe we could just declare Tony the winner of the match. Here he is. Well done. Now surveying the situation and doesn't appear to be impressed with what he sees of us here.
Dave Brown, how can you be impressed with this right here? Let me tell you something. I look around me right now, and some things never change. I see this little bitty studio. I see this little bitty wrestling crowd, if you want to call it that, with a little bitty brain. I look around at the talent running around here. I see the little bitty talent. Well, let me tell you something. I just came in from the World Wrestling Federation, baby. And right there is where we do everything in a big way. And that's something you peons out here will never understand. You'd like to be where I'm at. Well, let me tell you something. For some reason, I don't know why, Vince McMahon can't stand this USWA. I'll tell you something else. I guess I can't understand. I've been here. I know what it's like, but I know what it's like to be in the big arenas now. I know what it's like to wrestle the greatest talent in the world, and I know what it's like to make the big money. So I said to myself, Stephen Dunn, how can you make more money? And I thought about, well, you got to make Vince McMahon happy. So I come down here to the USWA for one reason and one reason only. And that's to slap some of these weasels around. But one of the biggest weasels walking around right now is this Brian Christopher. And Brian, it's nothing really personal, son, but you got something I think can make me a lot of money. You got that USWA title. So what I think I'm going to do, Dave Brown, I'm going to take that title. I'm going to walk into Vince McMahon's office. I'm going to set that title on that big oak desk he's got there. And I'm going to watch him start counting out the money. And counting it out and counting it out. I'm going to take that USWA title to the WWF, give it to my boss, my mentor, Vince McMahon.
Well, there's one man who stands in your way of all this grand, glorious dream you have of taking that title and handing it to Vince McMahon, and it's Brian Christopher.
I know it's your interview time, but you're running your mouth about me, so that makes it my interview time, too. Now, here you out here saying that you're from the WWF and you're a really big shot. Well, you don't look like a big shot to me. Now, I know you're called Well Done, but believe me, Stephen Dunn, when I get through with you, they can stick a fork in you, because you're going to be done, finished, and through. You understand me?
Well, understand this. When I look at you, Brian Christopher, all I see is a payday, and when you get between me and my money, heads are going to roll.
Oh, really? Normally, I'd slap the stinking taste out of your mouth, but I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it. For this week, Stephen Dunn, you're not taking this belt. You're not taking anything. You're going to get a good old-fashioned butt-kicking when you mess with me.
He's not going to just hand you
I'm
the...
going to tell you something, Dave Brown. Brian Christopher, you're soft. You're listening to these punks out here in the audience. I'll tell you what. It's going to happen. I'm taking the belt back to the WWF.
Well, you're going to have to do it, by beating Brian Christopher. You're not going to be doing it by just standing out here talking and running down the USWA and running down the fans, the greatest fans in the world, and they have been for years and years and years. You don't just walk in here, and he should know that. He was here. He used to call himself Steve Dahl. I think you fans remember him. And he and his partner were in here. They were USWA Tag Team Champions. They know how tough it is in this area. They know what it takes to win. They know if you're going to hang around long, you need the fans behind you. Look at this. Tony Williams almost got him. And you also notice that they did not stay around all that long.
They were simply divine at that time, King and Dahl, and now they're Timothy Well and Stephen Dunn. And
one reason they didn't hang around is because they did not have the support of the fans. And I think Mr. Dunn better keep that in mind.
That's exactly right, and he comes in here again with that same attitude, and I guarantee you won't have the support of the fans here again. Oh, boy, big step suplex from Stephen Dunn. A big power move takes down Tony Williams. From the World Wrestling Federation, it's Stephen Dunn, and he teams up with his partner, Timothy Well. Together, they're well done. Says they wrestle from every woman's dream. Stephen Dunn snaps Tony Williams off of that top rope.
Dropped him on the top rope. Not one of your classiest moves, Mr. Dunn. Look, he's got him by the hair.
Two, picks him up.
Oh, my goodness. Stephen Dunn, what a demonstration, huh? Of sportsmanship from Mr. Dunn.
Oh. Comes flying off of the ropes there and catches Tony Williams. Down goes Tony. And Stephen Dunn in the USWA. And, boy, not going to have an easy cakewalk when he comes in here. Let me remind Stephen Dunn of that. Later, Tony Williams set on the rope. Comes off. Boy, what a move. Nice drop kick from Tony Williams. Takes him down and goes after Mr. Stephen Dunn. Reversal here, though. Dunn picks him up. Tony came with the flying press. He grabbed his tights and gets the 3. 1, 2, 3. Stephen Dunn gets the win. Holding on to the back of the tights of Tony Williams.
Yeah, Tony Williams had him rolled up. He had the shoulders down, but with the momentum, Stephen Dunn was able to keep him rolling and got a reversal out of it. Yeah, you held his tight. That's how you got the victory. You don't have anybody's belt, and you're going to have a tough time getting it. But what you got to do is show up and attempt to win the belt from Brian Christopher. And let me emphasize the word attempt. We'll be back in a moment. About to take a look at the action coming up around the territory. First, a quick word about that. Jerry Lawler was out here a little bit earlier and mentioned he had the unified world title and just how important the fans were to that. That title change was in Senatobia, Mississippi. Now, usually we have the big title matches at the big arenas around the USWA, but every now and then we do have title matches here and there just to sort of say thank you to the fans, maybe some of the fans who would have trouble traveling to the big arenas. So thanks again, and here's Corey with the action coming up.
Indeed, and that shows you that anything can happen anywhere, including tonight. Jonesboro, Arkansas. They've got a big night in Jonesboro tonight. Going to be a big 8-man elimination tag match to determine the best of Jonesboro. It is tonight, 8 o'clock. Earl Bella Community Center on Church Street in Jonesboro, Arkansas. You see the people there. Brian Christopher, the Moondogs. Billy Joe Travis is going to be there. Doug Gilbert, the Dream Machine. Troy Graham is going to be there as well. A big night tonight. Jonesboro, Arkansas, 8 o'clock. Now, the box office opens at 3 p.m. today. Tickets on sale at Front Page Cafe, as always, for wrestling in Jonesboro, Arkansas tonight. That big 8-man Best of Jonesboro match, all coming up tonight in Jonesboro. Friday night, April 1st, wrestling in Blytheville, Arkansas. National Guard Armory in Blytheville, Arkansas. National Guard Armory right there on Division Street. The King, Jerry Lawler, Brian Christopher, Billy Joe Travis, Doug Gilbert, Cowboy Don Baz, all lined up for wrestling in Blytheville, Arkansas, Friday, April 1st. Friday, April 8th. Championship wrestling in Terrell, Arkansas, there at the high school. The King, Jerry Lawler, will be in Terrell, Arkansas. Billy Joe Travis, Gold Bun Crush is there as well. Also, Ken Wayne on the card. The Spellbinder, King Cobra, a bunch of them lined up for USWA Wrestling in Terrell, Arkansas. Wrestling also coming up in Batesville, Mississippi. But before we get to Batesville, there'll be a big softball game that's going to be coming up, Softball Grudge, in Lexington, Tennessee, Sunday, April 10th. You see Eddie Gilbert's Army against Jerry Lawler's Army. It's an all-out war in Lexington, Tennessee, Sunday, April 10th. 2 o'clock p.m. in Lexington. Then USWA Wrestling is in Batesville, Mississippi, Friday, April 15th. Batesville, South Panola High School there. Top USWA stars. And coming soon, USWA Wrestling in Camden, Tennessee. Also, Ashland, Mississippi. Bryan Central High School there in Troy, Tennessee. And Camden, Tennessee. That is USWA Championship Wrestling on Tour. Fans, nothing like being a city live when it comes to your town.
Doug Gilbert is headed back this way, Corey. I thought he had had his say a little bit earlier, but Doug?
You know, Dave Brown, no, I haven't had my say, because what I got to say, you know, Dave Brown, I carried Tony Anthony around here for about a year and a half. I carried him on my back. He almost gave me back problems, Dave Brown. But now he thinks he's a real big man. He's a Smoky Mountain champion, right, Dave?
He is the Smoky Mountain champion. He has been the Smoky Mountain champion for some time, and he's tough.
Well, every smart man knows that the Smoky Mountain champion is just leading you right up to be the USWA heavyweight champion. See, all those people in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, see, all they are is a bunch of inbreds anyway, Dave Brown. I'm not going to go to no Smoky Mountain, those old hills up there. I'm not going to go up there and wrestle. What I'm going to do, Dave Brown, Tony Anthony, I'm going to beat you like the dog you are. I'm going to warm up this Monday night. What I'm going to do, I'm going to warm up for you, Jerry Lawler, Brian Christopher, Tony Anthony. After I beat you like a dog, I'm going to take your little girlfriend in the ring, and I'm going to slap her around a little bit, too. But just remember, after I beat you, I don't want to be the Smoky Mountain champion, Dave Brown. What I want to be is the USWA heavyweight champion. So I will throw that belt down on him, and I might even give his girlfriend a little kiss, Dave Brown.
Well, you better come ready to battle, because Tony Anthony is the Smoky Mountain champion, and Dirty White Boy will have Dirty White Girl in the corner, too. That at least that part of it he got right. We'll be back here with more coming up. Stay with us. We got a ring full up here. Jerry Lawler has joined us here at the desk to help us with the commentary on this battle royal coming up. A ring full. Boy, this is something to see at an arena, especially. Our ring is a little bit smaller than the one, for instance, used at some of the... Reggie B. Fine claiming victory already. Look out, everybody's going. We better ring a bell. Well, watch it. Billy Travis with a moondog over here near the desk.
Boy, action is everywhere. Look out, Derek. Watch the belt. Watch the belt.
Ronnie Lott blowing the whistle, sending the moondogs wild. In the ring, skull drop on Crush.
We got two battle royals going, one in the ring, one out of the ring.
They got Leon Downs over here trying to dump him out of the ring. They got him on the top row. Hasn't succeeded. Downs gets down. What happened to the Moondogs, eh?
I don't know, but if they're gone, I'm glad of it.
Yeah. Me too.
Two guys I don't have to worry about facing for the belt.
What? Oh, I see what happened to the Moondogs. Don Bass ran him out of here.
Don Bass ran him out. Lots and the Moondogs
Billy
are
Travis,
gone.
he says, is eliminated, and so is Don Bass. Those guys have all been counted out already.
That's right.
They've already eliminated. Okay.
Don Bass and Billy Travis teamed up to get the Moondogs out of here, but everybody counted out, all four of them.
What?
I saw Brian Christopher just about had Doug Gilbert over the rope, and Doug was calling for help from Skullvine Crush there.
Oh, there goes Eddie Gibbons over the top rope. He's eliminated.
Yep, he's out.
He's out of there. Eddie Gibbons goes flying over that rope, and he is out of here.
Gaylord's got somebody up in the air.
Got the Dream Machine up there.
Oh, okay.
Up there, yeah.
Got the Dream Machine, Troy Graham, and
no, he didn't go over the rope.
No, he didn't.
Whoa.
Oh, there goes the
the
Colorado Kid. Reggie B. Fine gets him over there. Yeah.
Boy.
What action in the USWA, the big battle royal, and the Winter King will get a shot at that unified world heavyweight title.
Brian Christopher, Tony Williams with Doug Gilbert up on the ropes trying to throw him over.
Well, what I'm sitting here thinking right now is that I could be facing Brian Christopher in the unified title match.
Boy, that's right.
Wow.
That is right. Your tag team partner. That would do something.
I won't have to worry about facing Brian Christopher.
Boy.
Man, Doug Gilbert unloading on Christopher over here. Dream Machine comes from behind.
Yeah.
And nails Doug Gilbert. Leon Downs laying over that top rope there. Tony Williams trying to buck him over.
Skull Von Crush has just been thrown over, and
Leon Downs. There's Downs.
And Skull Von Crush pulled Gaylord over when he went, so I think both of them are going to be eliminated.
Oh, Gaylord will be eliminated.
Still going at it outside the ring over there.
And Von Crush hot tells it out. He's gone. So that leaves the Spellbinder, Reggie B. Fine, Dream Machine.
Whoa, Spellbinder.
Oh, no, he's gone.
Right out.
Speak of the devil, huh? Spellbinder goes over that top rope.
Boy, Reggie B. Fine making good on his threat so far, too,
Yeah,
King. He's still in there.
Reggie said that he's good. Whoa, there goes Tony Williams. Down to four. Down to four.
Reggie B. Fine, Dream Machine, Brian Christopher and Doug Gilbert. Only one. There goes Reggie B. Fine, flying over that top rope and on the floor. He is eliminated. Fine can go back and get his fur coat now and get out of here.
Christopher has Doug Gilbert up on the ropes again. Can he got him over there. Doug Gilbert's out. Oh, my goodness. The Dream Machine just dumped Brian Christopher out.
Oh, boy.
Right after he had dumped Doug Gilbert out. And there's your winner. The winner of the match is Troy Graham, the Dream Machine. And King, that's your opponent for the unified title.
The Dream Machine. Troy
Well, I don't know. It was down to either him or Brian Christopher. I wouldn't relish the... No, I don't know. I guess better off in facing them than it would be somebody like Doug Gilbert or whatever.
Right,
At
I
least
think
you
you're
know
right.
I've got somebody that we're going to...
I think you're right. Here comes Troy Graham. Let's get a comment from him,
Congratulations.
too. Yeah, congratulations from the King.
It's me and you, Kingfish.
Yes, sir.
It's me and you, man.
Well, hey, come on, Dream. Look out.
Hey. Oh, man. Come on. What are you doing? You got a match with it.
waited 10 long years for that, Lord. I waited 10 long years.
Come on, you've got a match. The King stands up and is congratulating him on the victory, and he comes over and he smacks him. Just get on out of here. We're not going to interview him at all. Let's get some help. We'll be back in just a minute. We're still a little bit stunned. I mean, the Dream Machine wins the Battle Royal here today, knowing that he's got a match coming up with the King Monday night. I mean, it's automatic. It's already signed. Winner of TV Battle Royal against Jerry Lawler for the unified title. Why do you come over here and make the guy mad by punching him out? I don't know, but that's...
And you're right. That's all it does. It makes Jerry Lawler mad.
And as mentioned to Jerry as he was on his way out of here, hey, you got him coming up. And Jerry said, yep, I sure do. So let's take the whole card right here. Opening match of the night. By the way, $3 general admission again Monday night.
Yeah.
Great opportunity. Bring the entire family. Come on down. 7:30 it starts. 10 big matches. Reggie B. Fine. Reggie, one of the final four here today.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah, impressive. Going against a guy who's always impressive when he steps in the ring, the Missouri Tiger, Jeff Gaylord. Spellbinder will be going against Leon Downs. Also a couple of fine wrestlers who will go at each other Monday night at the Coliseum. Skull Von Crush will have to battle Todd Morton. A lot of folks would like to see anybody, and especially someone like Todd Morton, beat Skull Von Crush 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. Maybe Monday night, Todd Morton can do just that. 6-man elimination tag match coming up. Skull Von Crush will be back along with Leon Downs and Reggie B. Fine to go against Jeff Gaylord, Spellbinder, and Todd Morton. In this one, the winner gets $2,500. Then there's a ladies' match. Susan Sapphire will be in to go against Dirty White Girl Kimberly. And, just get ready for that one right there.
Get ready.
That should be interesting to see. Moondog match. Anything goes in this one. The match will continue until one man is left standing. One Moondog or one Don Bass or one Billy Joe Travis. One of them remains standing. That's the winner of the match. Otherwise, anything goes. Brass knucks, garbage cans, boards, guitars, whatever you might want to think about, that could happen in the Moondog match Monday night. Smoky Mountain title will be on the line. Dirty White Girl will be over in the corner. Kimberly will be in the corner of Tony Anthony. And he will be defending the Smoky Mountain belt against Doug Gilbert. Well, Doug Gilbert has no respect for much of anything today. He's insulted just about everyone anywhere around. He insulted not only Tony Anthony, but the Smoky Mountain title. He said, I don't want it. I want the USWA title, and what I'm going to do is just use this as a warm-up, and when I win it, then I'm just going to throw the title on top of him because he's laying there in the middle of the ring. Won't be quite that easy, Mr. Gilbert.
No.
Let me tell you, when you step in against Tony Anthony.
And Doug Gilbert knows just about as good as anybody else. He teamed up with this Dirty White Boy a long time, made a great tag team, but Monday night, look out for a fight.
Yeah, what Doug said, he carried him around on his back. I don't remember it quite the way Doug does. I don't think Tony Anthony will remember it that way either. USWA heavyweight title will be on the line then. Stephen Dunn. Yep, he'll be trying to take the title away from the champion, Brian Christopher. Dunn in here from the WWF. He said he wants to win the title and just take it up to that big oak desk of Vince McMahon, put the belt on the desk and say, boss, here's what I've done for you, and wait for Vince McMahon to count out his extra bonus money. Well, Brian Christopher will have a thing or two to say about that. Unified world title will be at stake. The winner of the TV Battle Royal, well, we now know that's the Dream Machine, Troy Graham. He will be stepping in there, and he's going to have to battle the King, Jerry Lawler. Here he is right here. He's got a smile on his face.
What do you mean, what did I do that for? You wasn't here 10 years ago. Nobody was here 10 years ago, Lawler. I've waited a long damn time for this, and I'm finally going to get my revenge. Let me tell you something, Dave Brown. You know what he did to me. You know when I laid up there in Nashville, Tennessee, at that Baptist hospital with 4 pins and a plate in my right ankle, and you know who caused it. How can you justify it? How can you feel sorry for him, Dave, huh? You tell me. I picked my time, I picked my spot right here today, right here in front of 5 million people, bawling, squalling, climbing the wall, Lawler. You are through. You are history. I am Panther Quick, leather tough. I have figured that I've been pushed enough. I have a dream that I hold to my dying breath. I search for my soul and gamble with death. I'm going to look good with that unified belt around my waist, ain't I, Dave? There's no way you can stand out here and justify what Lawler's did to me. We set you up, man. We set you up good. Me and Jimmy Hart did, baby. And I got news for you Monday night. I'm going to walk out there leaving you laying right in the pool of blood, Lawler, because it's not over.
The Dream Machine, Troy Graham. When you talk about grudges, you usually think of something that happened last week or a couple of weeks ago. This guy, apparently from what he's just said, is carrying a grudge that's been going on for 10 years. When he had his leg broken, there's no doubt about it. He had pins in it. He was in the hospital.
So what about the stuff he done to Lawler?
Exactly right. He didn't bring any of that up. Well, we'll see what happens Monday night at the Mid-South Coliseum when the two of them step in there. And after what he did to Lawler here today, I guarantee you the King will not take him lightly. He will not look past him coming up Monday night. Then, non-sanctioned match, this pile driver match. Pile drivers are illegal in Tennessee. The USWA says not only will we not sanction the match, we cannot sanction the match. So it's not a sanctioned match, but it will be after everything else. Brian Christopher and Jerry Lawler coming in to go against Tommy Rich and Doug Gilbert. Rich and Gilbert free with the pile drivers a week ago. Well, this time they're going to run into a couple of guys who can throw pile drivers themselves. Whistle's blowing. That means Ronnie Lotz and the Moondogs are here, and Lotz keep them under control. Keep them away from...
Don't tell me my job. Don't tell me my job. Billy Ray! Billy Ray! Huh? What a loser. I want to tell you something, Billy Travis. We gave you a beating last week like you'll never have again. Where does Billy Ray get off bringing in that fat, stupid, miserable, no-good Bass? Huh? Hey, let me tell you something, Bass. You want it this week, mister? I'll tell you right now. Shut up! I got this right here. I got a special Moondog match going. Moondog, Moondog, Moondog. All right, here's the deals. Listen up. One man standing. Anything goes. Last man standing wins. I want to tell you something right now. I'm going to prove a point. My dog's right here. I want to tell you something.
Oh, come on. What are you... Ronnie Lotz out here took off his shoe, hitting the Moondogs with it just to prove how tough they are. We know how tough they are.
I want everybody, you, I'll slap it off your face. Listen to me. This week, Billy Travis dies, and that loser, Bass, you will be in pain.
Yeah, Well, let me tell you part of what Ronnie Lotz is upset about. That loser Bass and Billy Joe Travis have been taking care of the Moondogs. They're
These dogs to make them mean.
Yeah, well, their Moondogs are mean, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But Cowboy Don Bass and Billy Joe Travis are who ran them out of here. First one's gone in the Battle Royal here today. We'll see what happens in the Moondog match coming up Monday night.
Oh, wow.
I need a moment. Let's take a break. We'll be back. Man who has been Smoky Mountain champion for quite some time. I tell you what, he's had change attitude, and I tell you what, a lot of folks like what they have been seeing from Tony Anthony, the Dirty White Boy. Here he is, right here.
Hey baby, if you're feeling down, I know what's good for you all day. Are you worried what your friends see? Will it ruin your reputation loving me? 'Cause I'm a dirty white boy. Yeah, a dirty white boy. A dirty white boy. Don't drive no big black car. Don't like no Hollywood movie star. You want me to be true to ya. You don't give a damn what I do to ya. I'm just a dirty white boy. 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 Dirty white boy.
On their way back to the USWA, Dirty White Boy Tony Anthony and Kimberly. Be looking for them. We've got another match coming up here, tag team match. But first, I want to talk to these two guys just for a minute. Let them make a comment maybe about the match that they've got coming up. Carrying a guitar in his hand, it's Billy Joe Travis and also Don Bass, Cowboy Don Bass. And you guys, Billy, have really got these Moondogs on the run.
Yeah, we got the Moondogs on it. Let me tell you something, Dave. You know, last week I said I've been around this business for a long time, this professional wrestling, for about 12 years. You know, I've never seen the Moondogs dish out more punishment than the last 3 years on this Memphis TV. Now, let me tell you something, Mr. Moondogs. I don't like to get hit, and last week I got beat to death almost in Middleton, Tennessee, so I had to make a little phone call to the big, the bad, the ugly, Big Don Bass. He hit his mother-in-law with a guitar. Now, let me tell you something, Moondogs. The match is the last man standing. Well, let me tell you something, you three punks. There's going to be two men standing. That's Billy Travis and Cowboy Don Bass. Right, Donnie?
That's right, baby. Hey, Moondogs, that's our kind of match. That's Don Bass kind of match, baby. I don't care if you bring chairs. I don't care if you bring boards. I don't care if you bring knives. I don't care if you bring nuts. Hit this head right here anytime you want to, because this head's been swelled before, and I'll take it and I'll knock your head halfway off with it. I'll send you to the hospital, my friend. When this interview's over, I'm going down to the hardware store and get me all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to get a secret weapon, baby. It's going to be a secret weapon. And when it's all over, Billy Travis and Don Bass is going to be standing. I'll guarantee you that. And I'm going to take this cigar when you're down on the floor, and I'm going to ram it where the sun don't shine, baby. Like
Don Bass.
Oh, boy.
Well, his traditional way of letting us know that he is finished with the interview.
He's got to supply those cigars, boy, and he'll use them.
In the ring right now, it's the outlaw, Cowboy Don Bass, Billy Joe Travis. Billy Joe said hello to my mom up in Kentucky.
Here he comes, Marco Reggie B. Fine. Boy, he'll have that coat on come summer, I bet you, Dave.
Yeah, he's proud of that coat, I tell you. Here he comes,
Yeah.
swaggering in here, and also very calmly.
He's got his money's worth for that coat, all the $100 worth of that coat, boy.
Very calmly behind him is the German, Skull von Crush. A throwback. An old German military.
Yeah, Skull Von Crush along with it.
He does come in here with a nasty attitude and an attitude to take care of business. Reggie B. Fine talking to the crowd, enjoying his coat, staying warm. The lights are on in here. Temperature's probably 80, 82 in here under the lights. They've been on this long, and Reggie's got a heavy winter fur coat on.
And what would you say the temperature is outdoors today, Dave?
Well, I don't know right now. Today, maybe he could get away with it outdoors if he stood in the shade. Oh, look at this. Billy Joe Travis coming after him. He's tired of all the strutting around the ring. Says, let's get him in the ring. Referee says, hey, might as well ring the bell, and let's do it.
Billy Joe Travis slims Reggie B. Fine over in that top turnbuckle. Boy, that load's on fire with a big right hand from Billy Joe Travis. Man, oh man, what a day today on USWA Championship Wrestling. Thank you, fans, for joining us for another full day winner of the Battle Royal, the Dream Machine, Troy Graham.
Who then attacked Jerry Lawler. Boy, what a big mistake that is. He's got a match signed, and he comes over here and attacks him. I don't know.
Either Stephen Dunn out here today talking about the World Wrestling Federation, but I've got to inform you, Mr. Stephen Dunn, that the USWA has got to be just as hotter than the WWF right now, boy. What action going on in the USWA?
Vince McMahon has sent a lot of guys to the USWA from the WWF, and a lot of them were sent right back with a big L by their name for loss.
That's exactly right. Sullivan Cross catches a big shoulder from Billy Joe. Oh, Travis leaps over him, trying to give him a little boot on the back. Nice hip toss from Billy Joe. Boy, he's taking care of the big German. Sullivan Cross, and Von Cross out on the floor trying to regroup with there now.
You know, I go back a few months, trying to think of his name. I'm drawing a blank. The Native American who came in here, undefeated in the WWF, had not lost a match in the WWF. When he left the USWA, he had a big loss over there. They had one under L, and that loss was in the USWA.
You're right about that.
Tatanka, that's who it was.
Native American Tatanka. How about that big 8-foot tall John Gonzalez? The King lit him up with fire, and we haven't seen him since.
You got it.
Cowboy Don Bass, boy. That's just Von Crush, and Von Crush gets out of there. He tagged Reggie B. Fine. Little double team action from Bass and Travis.
I think Skull Von Crush is not very impressed with the support he's getting from his partner. He walked away sort of disgusted. He is back up on the apron now. And I don't think he's happy with what's going on.
Fine, say, come on, I got him now. Come on, Von Crush, I've got him now.
Von Crush did take the tag.
Extra tag from Reggie B. Fine. And Skull Von Crush from Berlin, Germany. With Billy Joe Travis in. Oh, and goes right in after. Billy wasn't able to get out of there quick enough. And Skull Von Crush caught him. Look at that, Billy Joe falls back and throws him out too. And Von Crush out.
Thought Billy might have had him. I've seen him win matches like that over the years where all of a sudden he surprises his opponent, takes him down in the small packages, is able to keep him there, but only a count of 2 that time.
Reggie B. Fine in. Slams down Billy Joe Travis with a body slam. Comes off to a wristlet. Billy gets out of the way, and Billy Joe trying to get himself together now and make a tag on his partner. Fine tags his partner. There's Joe Von Crush coming in, and Billy trying to get over the tag fast, and he does.
He went to the wrong corner at first, but he was still able to get the tag on Don Bass.
Here comes a Cowboy Don Bass from Greasy Corner, Arkansas. And Bass taking care of business. Backs Von Crush up and whips him in. They get a ball from the Bass. Boy, this Bass can be tough. We found that out.
That was a great move by Bass. He set Von Crush up. Von Crush was expecting to be hit with a clothesline, but as he came by instead of the clothesline, Don pulled up the other shoulder and kind of hit him kind of with a short line, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, look at it. Come here. 2, and Von Crush is up as Fine came in to try to help his partner out. Was almost too late that time. And speaking of Cowboy Don Bass, certainly no amateur to wrestling. Well, this guy, veteran to wrestling, and is around teaming up with Billy Joe Travis. 2. Travis kicks out and making a good team together, Bass and Travis.
Very close to a pin for Skull Von Crush there, but Billy Joe Travis able to break it at the last second. It's been a pretty well-balanced match. Either team has had chances to win it.
Von Crush. Caught with a right hand from Billy Joe Travis. Travis tacks his partner. Big Don Bass, and Bass goes up to Von Crush. Von Crush was trying to find Ready to Be Fine, but I don't think Fine was looking for him.
He didn't want that tag.
Billy Joe Travis. Big uppercut on Skull Von Crush. Here's Watch with that whistle.
Here come the Moondogs. What are they doing out here?
Oh, my goodness. Here are the Moondogs and Ronnie Lott. They've got Billy Joe in the ring. Hey, but Don Bass just went out of here. I don't know where Don went to. They've got Billy Joe Travis in the ring.
He had like a broomstick or something.
Oh, Don went to come back to even things up. He comes back with a big piece of metal. Nails both of the Moondogs. Cowboy Don Bass knew he had to fight fire with fire. That's what he did. He went and got that big piece of metal.
Look out.
Look out.
Billy Joe rammed into the desk over here by the Moondogs. They're double teaming him, triple teaming him, really, if you count lots. But here comes Don Bass. He smacks him with that big old piece of metal. One of them tried to get to his eyes. Don Bass smashes him. Oh, now Don drops that piece of metal. They're going at it on the floor down here. 3 big guys, and Billy Travis not as big as they are, but he's tough as they are.
Yeah.
All 4 of them at it. Ronnie Lotz with one shoe off, wandering around. Here comes Eddie Marlin out.
Come on, Ronnie.
Yep. Eddie Marlin here telling Ronnie Lotz, that's it. Get the Moondogs out of the studio here. Ronnie Lotz told Eddie Marlin mind his own business. Well, I tell you what his business is. His business is he will find these guys or suspend them if necessary.
Billy Joe Travis comes swinging that chair.
Finally, Lotz blows the whistle to get him out.
Man, Cowboy Don Bass has got our chair over here.
Yeah, that's my chair. Please be careful.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. But I tell you what, they're gone. The Moondogs are out of here. More to be said about that one, though. We'll be back here in just a moment. Matches included on that card. General admission only $3.
What?
$3 for general admission.
Great crowds down there, too, boy, the last few weeks.
Yeah, it's terrific.
Exciting, yeah.
Terrific opportunity to get the entire family down there and enjoy the great wrestling action. Beginning with the opening match at 7:30, Jeff Gaylord goes against Reggie B. Fine. I guess Reggie will have the fur coat.
Oh, boy.
Spellbinder will be going against Leon Downs in the next match. Then it'll be Skull Von Crush. Well, you just saw him teamed with Reggie B. Fine. But Monday night, Skull will be going as a single against Todd Morton. And then everybody who was in the opening 3 matches of the night comes back in a 6-man elimination tag match. Skull Von Crush, Leon Downs, and Reggie B. Fine on one side of the ring. On the other, Jeff Gaylord, Spellbinder, and Todd Morton. Winner of the match gets $2,500.
Little piece of change there.
Yeah. Ladies match coming up after that. It's Susan Sapphire going against Dirty White Girl Kimberly. Moondog match, anything goes. This one continues until one man is left standing. It'll be the Moondogs against Don Bass and Billy Joe Travis. Don Bass said, hey, as soon as I leave here today, I'm headed for a hardware store. This could be trouble, fans. Monday night, the Moondog match. Anything goes at the Mid-South Coliseum. Smoky Mountain title will be on the line. Here's something a little bit unusual. Smoky Mountain title will be defended in Memphis at the Mid-South Coliseum. Dirty White Boy Tony Anthony will have Kimberly with him as he defends the title against challenger Doug Gilbert, who has shown no respect for the title, for the fans, for anything else. But he may have respect Monday night for Tony Anthony after this one is over. We'll find out with the Smoky Mountain title on the line. USWA heavyweight titles at stake. Brian Christopher, he's confident, he's the champion, but he's going to be defending against Stephen Dunn. Stephen Dunn sees the title not as anything really special to himself, except as a big payday, because he thinks he can take that thing back, drop it on Vince McMahon's desk up in New York, and get an extra bonus from Vince McMahon for defeating one of the big names in the USWA. We'll see come Monday. Unified world title at stake. The King, Jerry Lawler, will be defending against the Dream Machine, Troy Graham.
Horrible what happened earlier today. I think we got some footage, right here where the King, hey, look at Jerry, reaches his head out. Dream Machine shakes his hand.
He congratulated him. He
Look
said,
at that.
congratulations, and then boom, the Dream Machine knocks him down.
See, that is absolutely ridiculous. Uncalled for, and it should have never happened. The bout was, as you said, Dave, as you stated, the bout was going to take place Monday night, as it is right there, and the Dream could not wait.
And as the Dream then said later, we kind of found out what happened. He's been holding a grudge for 10 long years, and he's looking for Lawler. Well, Monday night, it'll be 1 against 1, the unified title at stake. Then in the non-sanctioned pile driver match, Christopher and Lawler will be going against Tommy Rich and Doug Gilbert. USWA won't sanction it, but until both team members are pile drive, the match goes on. That's all coming up Monday night. We'll have more here next week. We hope you'll join us for it. Till then, for Corey Macklin, I'm Dave Brown. So long, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of USWA Championship Wrestling.